The 2022 tandem of Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte and former Defense Secretary Gibo is now a done deal. That's according to former Camarines Sur Representative Rolando Andaya Jr. Andaya also claims Vice President Leni is dropping out of the presidential race and is now eyeing the gubernatorial seat in Camarines Sur. The Energy Regulatory Commission is asking 35 power plants to explain following the outage that led to rotational brownouts across Luzon. The United States is set to share 25 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines with the world. And Tropical Cyclone Dante has just moved out of the Philippine area of responsibility, but it may re-enter the PAR within the day. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Charles Lejano. More news surfaces about Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte's possible candidacy in the 2022 national elections. This time, 2010 presidential candidate Gibo is being tagged as her potential running mate. Former Camarines Sur Representative Rolando Andaya spoke with the chiefs about this. He says, same as his social media post, that the Sara-Gibo tandem is a done deal. Andaya says both Mayor Duterte and Teodoro may announce their election plans by July.
When I posted that on Facebook, when I said it's a done deal, I was about to leave Metro Manila going to Davao. Now coming back, and if you can see it in my smile, yes, it is a done deal, not just as my personal opinion. Okay? Let me put it this way. I personally told both of them, you will be the next president and vice president. They both gave the sweetest smile.
Andaya also revealed commitments made by Vice President Leni to run as governor of Camarines Sur. Robredo has yet to issue an official confirmation.
I talked to her personally, and she has intimated to me that we are on schedule, we are on track, and that the benchmarks we have set that she is running for governor, she has fulfilled.
An election and reputation strategist says those who are already revealing their intentions to run for next year's polls will not win the elections. In an interview with Wagpo, strategist Amor Maclang identified two common campaign narratives that candidates exploit to appeal to voters. The first narrative is saying it's time for a change, a strategy that worked with former US President Barack Obama and President Duterte. Maclang added that the second narrative is saying, let's go back to the olden times, like Donald Trump's Make America Great Again. But the strategist pointed out that Davao City Mayor and potential presidential Sara Duterte might use a third narrative, which is preserving or continuing what the current government is doing. In any case, Maclang says those who reveal their plans to run early on have the odds stacked against them in next year's elections.
Kung ngayon pa lang nagpapaamoy ka na ikaw ay tatakbo, right? You're giving enough runway or lead time for your competitors to create a strategy to bring you down, right? Diba? So para yung poker, diba? That's how I learned how to do math, right? Is through poker. So pag pinakita mo maaga pa lang kung ano ang mga strategiya mo, etc. Look at Vice President Binay. We all thought he was going to be so close to becoming our president. Correct, but he tipped his hand. He was, right? Pero pag masyado kang maaga, right? Masyado kang maaga, and then you tip your hand, right? Yan ang brilliance ni PRRD, I'll tell you. Look, for example, at the West Philippine issue.
Disyembre na nagdeklara, di ba?
Hindi lang yun, boss. Right? Until today, he keeps us guessing, di ba? Di ba yun naman ang gusto mo pag meron ka nililigawan na babae? Ayaw mo yung bumibig. Gusto mo yung pakipot, right? So in his case, that strategy has actually successfully tided him through the more difficult issues.
On the other hand, former Senator Orly Mercado believes it's better for presidential aspirants to exude a so-called presidential aura as early as now. He says the people are looking for leaders that they can count on during this time of social unrest.
as of the moment, alam natin dito dahil sa krisis natin, sa pandemya, kailangan talagang you're seen as being responsive to the needs. Kaya ang tutok talagang ikaw ay naroon sa kanila at nakakatulong doon sa paglutas ng mga existential problems ng ating mga kababayan. But later on, talagang napaka-importante na maging inclusive.
Energy officials say the power supply in Luzon has returned to normal after the series of rotational power outages that have been implemented. But will this stay for long? Camille Samonte reports.
After 3 straight days of being placed under red and yellow alerts, the Luzon power grid has normalized, at least today. Barring any sudden increase in demand, the Energy Department said that no outages are expected to happen within the day. According to the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines, total projected available capacity is at 11,601 megawatts, higher than the peak demand of 10,331 megawatts. Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi apologized for the successive brownouts, assuring that the supply is now back to normal.
Dahil po yun, dahil sa sabay-sabay po na nagkaroon po ng breakdown ng 4 na plantang malalaki po, no, na ang capacity po is 2017 megawatts. Malaki po ang nawalang supply sa sistema, 2017 supply. Kaya megawatts po, no? Kaya ganun po, nagkaroon po tayo ng kakulangan at sa init din po ng panahon.
Cusi wants a probe into possible collision among power plants that could have brought down the supply. He also blamed private companies that failed to comply with government regulations. The DOE is exploring filing charges for economic sabotage.
Itong power, itong electricity po are all in the hands of the private sectors, no? We just lay down the policy, make sure that everything is addressed.
But more power outages may be in the offing. The NGCP warned of another round of rotational brownouts in July and August, as supply may not be enough based on projected demand and expected supply. Spokesperson Cynthia Alabanza said, however, that it may still be dependent on supply.
These projections will change as we draw to the time, nearer to the time that we're talking about. So we will have to revise and readjust the projections as we approach these dates.
Alabanza wants to look ahead, saying an energy roadmap for the next 5 to 10 years should be laid out.
Power plants, as you may know, have a gestation period of 3 to 5 years. So it will take around that time to build the power plant. So your planning must be around at least 5 years ahead so that demand never catches up with supply, as is happening now.
For News 5, Camille Samonte, we are One News.
Despite improving conditions, the Energy Regulatory Commission is going after more power plants that went on outage, leading to low power supply in Luzon. ERC Chairperson Agnes de Vañadera told the big story that 35 plants were down, reaching the maximum facilities allowed for unplanned outages. However, de Vañadera says power plant operators cannot be charged for economic sabotage just yet, pending investigation.
Hindi ito 4 na planta. 35 ito. 35 plants with 17, actually 35 itong pinadala ng sulat ng ERC. Actually, ERC sent notices to explain because 35 plants were on outage.
Tropical storm Dante is now outside the Philippine area of responsibility, but not for very long. Pag-asa reports that Dante made its exit from the PAR at 2 a.m. earlier today, but it will be re-entering the monitoring area later this afternoon. After re-entering the PAR, Dante is seen closely approaching or making landfall near southern Taiwan tonight. The State Weather Bureau adds that the storm will likely maintain its strength before hitting land, and Pag-asa says Dante will then weaken into a tropical depression before transitioning into an extratropical cyclone tomorrow as it exits the PAR once again, heading over to the East China Sea. The Philippines might benefit from the U.S.'s plan to donate millions of excess doses of COVID-19 vaccines. The White House has laid out a plan for the U.S. to share 25 million surplus COVID-19 shots with other countries. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says the U.S. would share the vaccines without expecting political favors in return. He adds that the U.S. will donate about 19 million doses through the COVAX facility, while the rest would go directly to choice countries, which may include the Philippines.
Our approach also prioritizes South and Southeast Asia, including countries like India, Nepal, the Philippines, and others that are undergoing surges right now. It recognizes our closest neighbors, Canada and Mexico, which received our first shared vaccines, and friends like the Republic of Korea, where our military shares a command.
Recall that U.S. President Joe Biden has come under pressure from the world community to share the U.S.'s surplus of COVID-19 vaccines. This as the White House has focused on securing millions of vaccines for Americans, including those who don't have any comorbidities. Meanwhile, most third world nations can't even get enough shots to protect their elderly.
Here at home, we have built a best-in-class vaccination program. Already 63% of adult Americans have received at least one shot, and 52% of adult Americans are fully vaccinated. Already 12 states have 70% of adults with at least one shot. That's an important milestone. And 28 states and the District of Columbia have fully vaccinated 50% or more of their adult population. As a result, in communities and states across the country, the pandemic is in retreat.
Celebrity couple Derek Ramsey and Ellen Adarna have sparked another round of memes after posting another intimate photo. Let's take a look at some of the entries in this report from Nico Garcia.
Engaged couples Ellen Adarna and Derek Ramsey have taken social media by storm once again. That's after they uploaded yet another intimate photo, a shirtless Derek kissing Ellen, who's only in her shirt and undies. But it is not your average kissing photo. Derek carried Ellen by her legs, who's apparently in a yoga kneeling posture. As expected, it birthed memes left and right. Ellen and Derek are all game, and even shared their favorites on Instagram stories. Here, the two were minimized and superimposed on the wire. The battle arena of the classic Spider Derby of the 90s. A match body uploader made Derek do the acrobat position with Ellen as he pinches the loaf. Their little stunt even reached America's Got Talent, where they get tossed in the air. The height of Ellen and Derek's love also put them on top of the Burj Khalifa, while the deepness of their relationship, it's akin to an Air Jordan dunk. Nick Garcia, We Are One News.
And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again later at 10 a.m. as we monitor the day's biggest stories from sunrise to sundown. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We're One News.